What's up YouTube, MagentaGadget here, and we have a quick review of the Dragons Collide structure deck that came out yesterday. I was going to do it yesterday, but I ran out of time. I had a lot of stuff to do. But we're going to go through. I don't have the deck. I'm going to use the wiki as I always do because I didn't get one of them yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. There's a lot of cool reprints, so I might end up with one copy in my hands yet. But we're going to go through this quick. Anything that's brand new I'm going to show you guys in more detail. Then we're going to talk about all the cool reprints that they put in this deck, which I think a lot of them are good. First off is the Light Pulsar Dragon. You can special summon this card from your hand by banishing a light and a dark in your graveyard. You can special summon it from your graveyard by sending a light and a dark from your hand, which is a really neat effect. Usually Chaos Monsters are pretty broke and you can't get them back once they're gone, but this guy totally wants to come back. And then also, when he's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target a level 5 or higher dragon, dark dragon in your graveyard and special summon it. So, a quick combo. I know I said I'd only click on the new cards, but this guy is in the deck as a common. So, he's a level 5 or higher dark dragon. And since Light Pulsar is not a Nomi similar to Luster Soldier, and Chaos, well, not Chaos Sorcerer, but you know what I mean. You can't just like... Yeah. Chaos Sorcerer is not a dragon, that's the point. But he can bring back Light Pulsar Dragon. So if your field ever gets wiped, Light Pulsar Dragon will activate in the graveyard, bring him back, he'll bring back Light Pulsar, and you can do the math from there. It's a not killable 5,300 attack points worth of dragon there. The next new card up, which I don't think will be in the competitive deck if this makes itself into a competitive deck, is Dark Flare Dragon. You can special summon him from your hand by banishing a light and a dark in your graveyard, Chaos Monster. Once per turn you can send a dragon from your hand and deck to the graveyard to target a card in either player's grave and banish it, which is not a bad effect to load your graveyard with dragons and stuff. But I'm not sure if he'll be in a competitive deck. I know Light Pulsar sure as heck will. This card is really interesting. I really like this card. Eclipse Wyvern. If it's sent to the graveyard, banish a level 7 or higher light or dark dragon from your deck, and if this card in the graveyard is banished, you can add the banished monster from his effect to your hand. So an interesting thing is, since if he's sent to the graveyard, which means if he goes from underneath an Xyz or from your deck, or whatever, he went to the graveyard, you get his effect. If you're playing something like Lightsworn and you mill him, you can banish a JD, and then clearly you'll be playing Chaos Sorcerers and stuff, and you can banish this guy for one of your monsters, and then add JD to your hand. So that's kind of neat. Also, it's good in this deck because you remove a lot of, dragons. Then you got Blue Eyes White Dragon, Red Eyes Black Dragon, obligatory dragons. The White Stone of Legend and Red Eyes Black Chick. White Stone of Legend, I think, was already a common, but that's in some combo decks, like some OTKs. So I guess that's cool. Axe Dragonute, Vice Dragon, those are old cards. Prime Material Dragon is a common now. Graganith. Dark Armed became a common in this deck, which I don't know if he really needed a reprint, but I suppose, common Dark Armed. Then Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, as I mentioned before. Chaos Sorcerer and Lord of D. I guess Lord of D. Mystic Tomato and Summoner Monk are some dark support monsters that, I think they printed Mystic Tomato pretty recently, but it's a couple of dark monsters that they haven't printed in a while, I don't think. Snipe Hunter, I suppose that's to discard dragons to the graveyard so that you can get your chaos on. Herald of Creation, haven't seen that guy in a while. Jane and Lila, the Lightsworn, mainly Lila. This is a pretty big deal as a reprint, since Lila was like the last unreprinted Lightsworn monster, but now she is. She's a common. So it's pretty cool to have her around because some people like to play her like the side decker. So it's not a bad reprint. Then you got Kaiba Man. Okay. Raikou, which is a solid reprint. Raikou is never going to be a bad card per se. Then we have a new card here, a field spell called Chaos Zone. Okay, this has got a ton of words on it. Each time a monster is banished, place one chaos counter on this card for each of those monsters, and once per turn you can remove 4 or more chaos counters from your side of the field to target a banished monster whose level is equal to the chaos counters removed and special summon it. And then when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard by an opponent's card, you can add a light or dark dragon from your deck to your hand whose level is equal to or less than the number of chaos counters that this card had. I'm not sure this is going to get used a lot, but it's a neat effect. Those counters can probably pile up pretty quickly when you're playing a deck like this. So, not a bad card by any stretch, but it's a pretty situational card in my opinion. Either way, a Burst Stream of Destruction and Infernal Fireblast, the ace cards for Blue Eyes and Red Eyes. Flute of Summoning Dragon to go with your Lord of D. Wingbeat of Giant Dragon because multiple heavy storms. I'm not sure if that'll get used or not, but that's a cool idea of a card. Book of Moon got reprinted again, that's not a problem. Magical Stone Excavation and Reasoning and Monster Gate, all of those big old school DDT cards are back again. Card Trader, which I suppose would be kind of handy if you draw a handful of gigantic dragons, but I don't know if that'll be a competitive thing or not. DDR, Different Dimension Reincarnation. Then Charge of the Light Brigade, that's a pretty big deal as a reprint. You know, for the Lightsworn engine. I don't think Charge was necessarily an overpriced card, but it's a common now, huh? So then we got another new card. The last new card in the deck is Dragon's Rebirth, which has got some pretty nifty artwork, honestly. Then is target one face-up dragon type you control. Banish that target and special summon a dragon from your hand or graveyard. So that's kind of a neat effect. Pretty sure this card could see some use in a Chaos Dragon deck. Then you got Burst Breath, which is a monster destruction card. Call of the Haunted, which has got reprinted a lot of times before. Interdimensional Matter Transporter, which I suppose is a banish and then a summon, or you know, it places their monster back on your field, but you get to banish it, so if you're using that Chaos Zone, you can do stuff with that. And then Escape from the Dark Dimension, so if you got banished dark monsters, which you most surely will, you can bring those back. So, overall, not a bad deck. I like it. I think that there might be a deck that comes out of this, but if nothing else, dragon decks in general that use Red Eyes Darkness Metal could benefit from Light Pulsar Dragon because he creates such a crazy indestructible loop. I mean, if they get Dark Hole, Mirror Force, Torrentialed, it's a minus tier opponent because the field just comes right back. But I don't know, I think there's a lot of interesting reprints, a lot of interesting new cards, and you guys should check this deck out, and I most likely will too. So I'm going to record another video or two here, sitting here today, and those will be seen tomorrow and Friday. Friday's a really busy day, so I'm not entirely sure I'll get one up Friday, but you should see another video sometime soon, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. But for now, let me know what you guys think of the Dragon deck, Dragons Collide, in the comments below, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks for subscribing, and, you know, I appreciate it. Peace out, YouTube.